What do you need to buy a home? All right, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about some things that you want to think about if you or somebody you know is looking to buy a home here in the near future. Um, you know, a lot of people may not know where to start or where to begin when it comes to the home buying process, and you might not want to talk to a real estate agent right off the bat. You might just, only want to know what you need. Maybe you think a real estate agent might be pushy or trying to hurry up and get you some stuff. So either way, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you some things that you want to be aware of when you're buying a new home. First thing I want to talk about is money. Money in the bank is what you need. You need money that's not being used for your bills or for your day-to-day expenses, because there are some things that come up during the home buying process that you as the buyer are going to be responsible for paying. Now, depending on what kind of deal you have working and who your real estate agent is, some of these expenses can be masked behind certain things or taken care of by a third or different party rather. But the first thing that I think about when I think about the money that you'll need is the earnest money. The reason why I think about the earnest money is because a lot of people don't understand why you have to put some money up front when you're looking at buying a house. You may say, hey, look, I want to buy this house. I'm trying to get a loan for it. Why do I have to accompany earnest money with it? All earnest money is letting the sellers know that you're serious about buying that home. To me, it seems to be sort of a tradition that is not going anywhere anytime soon. But also, it's good faith money. It's like, hey, look, I'm going to buy your house, man. Take this little money as a token to show you how serious I am about buying this home. Now, that money does in turn come off the entire purchase price of the home, but still and yet, earnest money just shows that you're definitely interested in buying that home. Also, the down payment. The down payment of whichever loan that you get will vary. An FHA loan is a very common loan. If you haven't purchased a house before, an FHA loan is something that could be worthwhile for you. The FHA loan requires a 3.5% down payment. Now, 3.5% of $100,000 or $150,000 is a decent amount of money. So that's one thing you want to plan for. That down payment, that 3.5% of whichever price home that you're thinking about buying. In which case, in my area, the average price home is between, I would say, 140 and 180 or so. Also, your inspections. You have inspections that you need to get done, and appraisals an appraisal that you would want to get done on the home that you're purchasing to ensure that you're not paying too much for it. And also, the inspections are just for you to understand or make sure that there isn't anything terribly wrong going with the home. So those two things are definitely needed. And those are things that you as the buyer are responsible for paying. Again, like I said earlier, there are some ways that you could possibly get someone else or get it masked behind something else, some of those expenses, but those are the things that you're generally looking for. Also, your credit. You want to have a 620 credit score, guys. Go ahead and get that credit score up. Yes, you can get a loan with a 580 credit score. Your interest rate will be a little bit higher. But, to me, with a little bit of discipline and actually knowing what's on your credit and looking at it, you can get that credit score up to a 620, especially if you're somewhere around that 580 range. So get that credit score up to a 620. And then also your employment. You want to be able to show concrete employment for at least 2 years. And what I mean by that is, it's okay if you've had a job here and then you switched jobs and started working elsewhere. But what you want is that consistent 2-year period of you being employed. Now, obviously, if you leave a job or something like that, it may not be, the very next month you have another job. But what you don't want is like 6 months of unemployment there, and then because that creates issues. So you definitely want to have 2 years of employment, stable employment is what I would call it. And they're going to ask you, the lender being they're going to ask you when you go and talk to them, I need 2 years of W-2s, and I need 2 years of your tax returns. And that is going to show that you were employed for that period of time at some job. Also, uh, a lender is going to ask you for 2 months worth of bank statements and 2 months worth of pay stubs. Now, you should be able to provide that relatively easy. So that's another thing that a lot of times people don't think about when they're going to buy a new home. Now, here's the thing. Back to the money. The 3.5% down payment. I understand that, for a lot of people, that's a lot of money, especially when you're talking about buying a $150,000 home, which is like average. There are some down payment assistant programs out there that'll help you come up with the money for a down payment. So that might be an option for you. Also, another thing I wanted to touch on is uh, feeling like you have to be married to buy a home. You don't have to have a spouse to go out and purchase a home. You could purchase a home all by yourself if you can meet the criteria that I labeled out before you. Now, I don't want to discourage anybody that doesn't meet any of this criteria. If you're not there yet, it gives you something to aim for. Okay, it gives you something to help to better yourself. I mean, you want to have money in the bank, you want to have a good credit score, and you want to have gainful employment. So these are all things that you definitely want to have. So don't feel discouraged if you're not all the way there. It just gives you something to work to. But in terms of what type of money that you qualify for, let's just say, you don't have to buy $150,000 home is what I'm getting to, because I was talking to a colleague earlier, and one of her first clients was someone who qualified for about $60,000, and they bought a condo. He's still a homeowner. One day when he decides he doesn't want that condo, he could either resell it or rent it out to somebody. So there's still value in that. You see where I'm going with it? So again, I just wanted to throw some of those things out there just so you know what to look out for and have an idea of what you need to have in place whenever you decide you want to go out and search for a new home, or whenever you decide you want to talk to a real estate agent or a lender about purchasing a new home. So if you got any questions about anything that I said, please comment on this video. It's probably on Facebook or on YouTube. Go ahead and comment, ask me your question, or just comment your experience with buying a new home, or some things that you didn't know that you would have to do. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all checking this out, and I hope you have a good one. Peace.